Welcome to November 25th. Welcome to the news and notes from around the NHL from November 25th. First off, for the Nashville Predators, some bad news today. Kyle Turris, who was playing like Kyle Turris over the last few weeks and starting to look like he was going to put up maybe a 60-point season, he's on the injured reserve. So Rocco Grimaldi has been called up to fill in. Grimaldi, of course, is a guy you can call up. He can fill in wherever he's needed on the roster, and you don't have to worry about losing him on waivers when you send him back down. But for Nashville fans, it is disconcerting only because, as I said, Turris is starting to look like he's playing well, and he didn't necessarily need this right now. Darcy Kemper's out with an injury, so they called up Adin Hill. The interesting thing with Adin Hill is his numbers in the American League this year: 3.22 goals against, .871 save percentage. I like Adin Hill. I think he's a solid goalie. Adin Hill's one of those guys, and I just started the goalie jinx video series today. I'm thinking that maybe what I need to do is also a video on goaltenders who play better in the NHL than the American League, because those exist. I know it sounds weird, but there are goalies who don't put up very good numbers in the American League, and they're very good at the NHL level. It's weird, but it happens. So for Hill, it'll be interesting to see if Kemper's out for a while, but I doubt it. Hill probably just gets sent back down, and it doesn't matter. Darren Archibald's on waivers for Vancouver. Of course, people out there are probably like, it doesn't matter. You know what? Somebody at some point is going to take Darren Archibald from the Canucks, and it's going to hurt him. I like Archibald a lot as a bottom six forward. I think that, he doesn't have a lot of scoring potential, but the grit factor is there. I think he's a solid player. And at some point, the Canucks are going to regret putting him on waivers, because I think somebody's going to take him. I don't know if it's going to be this time or the next time or when it's going to happen, but somebody at some point will take Archibald. Buffalo's number one in the NHL. I wanted to say that this morning before Tampa or Nashville ruin it tonight. Buffalo being number one in the NHL proves that we really are in a new era where it's completely unpredictable. I don't think anybody in their wildest dreams thought, well, with Dahlin, they're probably the best team in the league. We all would collectively turn and go, okay, you're out. I don't know what's wrong with you, but you're out. And you might want to go see a doctor. You might have a concussion. But yeah, they're number one right now. Number one. If you're a Tampa fan, good news. Andre Palat may be very well close to a return to the team. And they've done well without him. This is Tampa. This is what they do. They adapt to people being injured, and they play very well. Except, of course, with Stamkos a couple of years ago. But the Stamkos injury allowed for the development of Braden Point. So everything that looks like it might be bad turns out to be pretty good for Tampa. Puljujarvi's back up, and apparently a big part of the reason why is Ken Hitchcock. Hitchcock thinks he can help this kid reach that next level and become a consistent NHLer. If he does, he may reach God status in Edmonton. Because if you can get Puljujarvi to consistently produce at the NHL level, and you've got Connor McDavid, you've got Leon Draisaitl, you've got Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, you add another guy who can score, which is what he was supposed to be when they drafted him, and suddenly the Oilers look like a playoff team. Not just number 3 in the Pacific, oh, they're lucky to be there, but an actual playoff team. Marco Dano, and this actually happened, I believe, yesterday or Friday, but because of all the time I spend watching hockey and working on the boards and all this, everything, I didn't have time to really do. I wasn't going to do video just on it either. But Marco Dano's back with Winnipeg. Now, the reason this is interesting is twofold. One, Dano's a guy who's had stops and starts in numerous places, and it just really hasn't worked out for him. But two, because he was Jets property previously, they got to send him to the minors without losing him on waivers. So it's one of those things where if you reclaim the player, you can just send him to the minors. If he's cleared waivers within the last 30 days, you can do that. So Winnipeg, send him down. If you get him back, you can send him down. Anyways, you guys know what I mean. So yeah, Dano's right now in the American League, which is good for him, and he's still young enough to turn things around. And last but not least, I really should mention the 7-game goal streak by Cam Atkinson in a news video. Why? Because, as I said yesterday, Columbus doesn't get a lot of attention. Not a lot of people talk about Columbus, and it's easy to forget that Atkinson is a pretty solid forward in his own right. Having a solid season to go with that, and honestly, he's their MVP right now. Columbus, who are flirting with being the best team in the Metro. Atkinson's a huge part of the reason why. Now, the turnaround by Bobrovsky has been big as well, but Atkinson is really having a solid season. So there you go. Just some news and notes from today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through just happened upon this video. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.